Hello. Well, I guess I should give it a minute, huh? Let it actually go live, because I don't know that it did. Did it go live? It did go live, because it says
live.
it's live.
It does say live.
Look at that. And I've only had 1 1/3. Welcome to Suck It Up Saturday. We are in Nicole's kitchen, a beautiful kitchen, and Nicholada, as I call her. I know lots of you have heard me say that, but this is Nicholada. So welcome, Nicholada.
Hey.
Thanks for having us. And you are making us something delicious today.
I am. I'm making one of my favorite drinks. So I discovered this drink when my husband and I were traveling in Canada, and it is called a strawberry sour. So we're going to pretend it's spring today.
I like that thought because, we get to spring, and, you and I get to start with spring because
first day of
our
spring.
birthdays are 2 days apart, and we're all about that spring life. So I just look forward to spring because after spring comes summer. So
I even wore teal to pretend it was spring, and we're going to have, it's kind of like a strawberry lemonade, but it's a little different. It's called a sour. I don't know if any of you know, like with whiskey sours and other sour drinks, what makes it a sour. It does have a little bit of a sour taste to it, but it has an egg white in it. And so I'm going to show you that today. So it is strawberry and lemon. So the first thing that we have is our lemon. I'm making what's equal to 2 martinis. This little fun glass here is almost exactly the same size as your traditional martini glass, so you could make it in here as well. And then I'm also going to show you a couple of fun rimmers that you can do for your drink. First, we're going to just make the drink itself. So we're going to start with our lemons. First, I washed the lemons. That's important because you are going to press on them and put them into your beverage, so you want to make sure that they're clean. And then if you don't know, if you're using one of these little citrus presses, I know it's tempting to put it in this way because they fit that way, but they actually squeeze better if you put them in upside down. And so we're actually going to squeeze these lemons into our shaker cup.
And you rolled the lemons before you did
I
that
did
too,
roll
right?
the lemons, yes. Okay. You want to talk about that?
So when you have your lemon, if it's, it's usually fairly firm, so you want to make sure you're rolling it on the counter to kind of break up the little capsules that are in there that have the juice in there. So you're going to get more juice. And if you have a lemon that is maybe not quite, it's pretty hard, it's either super dried out, first of all, or it just was not ready to be picked yet. In that case, you can pop it actually in your microwave for like 20 seconds, and it will warm it up enough for you to be able to roll it. And again, you'll get more juice out of it.
So if you're just making 1 martini, I'm making 2, one for me and one for Harmony. You could just use,
stitches, that's what we're doing.
You could use just 1 lemon. I'm using 2 whole lemons because I'm making 2. So it'd be 1 lemon per martini. And if they're decent size, if you get the small size ones, you might want more than 1 lemon, like 1.5. This is a pretty decent size lemon, kind of a medium size, not large. And then for our strawberry flavor, we're actually using a strawberry infused gin made by Beefeater. It's called Beefeater Pink. And I have a cute little shot glass that even says Nicole's Bar on it. So we're putting about 1.5 shots of gin per martini. I am measuring. I know Harmony doesn't, but this keeps me accountable when making drinks. So about 3 ounces there, a little more. That is a smaller shot glass, but usually a shot glass is about 1.5 ounces. So we've got per martini 1 lemon, 1.5 ounces-ish of gin, and then about half that amount in simple syrup. So I'm just going to put 1.5 shots of the simple syrup. That'll just sweeten it up a little bit, not make it quite as tart.
So simple syrup is literally just sugar and water, you guys.
Yeah, so you can make it at home. You can either just use warm water, put some sugar in it, and shake it really good, or you can boil some water, put some sugar in it, and then, of course, you want it chilled. So now for the egg white. So I actually have the eggs already separated. This is just the white, and I'm going to actually whisk it with a whisk a little bit just to kind of break it up a little before I put it in the shaker. We're going to add it here. And then the important thing, we are going to shake this with ice, but not before we do what's called a dry shake. So when you add egg white to a shaker glass, if you don't do a dry shake first, the egg gets too cold and it doesn't incorporate as well. So we're going to do a dry shake first.
So, egg whites in your mouth. That's good stuff. No, it's not.
But it is good if you do it right.
And sometimes you have to let the pressure out of the cup.
It does create some additional pressure. Okay, so we now got a dry shake, and you can see it made it nice and foamy in there. That's what the egg white does. We're going to add some ice.
So Nick, Rhonda, who is on here right now, is Chad's mom.
Oh, nice. Hi, Rhonda. I don't know whether to say congratulations or I'm sorry.
I've tried to give him back to her several times, and she says, nope, he's your problem.
So now I've added the ice and we're shaking again. I'm just shaking it over my sink to try to avoid some mess. I don't have the best shaker, so I have to kind of mess with it. Pop it open. Now, when you have a shaker glass, it has this nice little thing on top usually. You can strain your drink that way, but especially with the egg white, I actually prefer to use a regular strainer like this. It makes it so that the foam comes out a little bit better. I don't know what way it's actually supposed to go. I don't know if it matters.
I think the other way.
It fits on the glass that way. So then we just pour this into the glass. If you use a little strain spouts on the mixer, you don't get quite as much of the foam incorporated into your drink. See? 2 martinis exactly. I don't know what that says about me, but
Perfection. That's what it says about her.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's really good. And so Nick made me one. We shared one. What is this called again, Nick?
What
The drink. What is it called?
Strawberry sour.
Strawberry sour, Rhonda. So Nick made one of these without the egg whites in it, and it was extremely tart. It was still delicious. Don't get it twisted. It was still delicious. So if you don't have the eggs, Nick actually has an alternative for that, but it also makes it like, it tones it down. It tones the sour of the lemons down a lot, and it makes your drink a little bit more creamy.
Yeah, it gives it kind of a froth and a creaminess. You still get all of the flavor from the lemon, but not quite as tart, but it doesn't add additional sugar. Bonus, when you add the egg whites too, it does add protein to your drink as well.
So it's a healthy drink.
I don't know about that, but I mean, it's got
In
strawberries
moderation.
and lemon. I mean, it's got fruit. It's got protein.
We're almost there.
Yeah. So just real quick, I just want to show you some couple ideas that you could actually dress up your drink. So let's say
But first, back it up.
the substitute for the egg.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you. It's okay.
If you have an egg allergy, or you're vegan, or just the egg white really creeps you out, you could use, it's called aquafaba. Aquafaba. I'm going to say faba. It's probably not a fear of water.
Probably not.
It is the liquid from cooked chickpeas. So when you get a can of chickpeas, the liquid that's in there is from the chickpeas being cooked. If you strain a can of chickpeas, you can use that as an egg white substitute. And you could use that in your drink, and it will give it that froth. Not quite as creamy as using an egg white, but it does still give it that creaminess and tone down the citrus just a little bit.
And you can also use that for egg white replacements in baking.
That's correct.
And cooking.
That is correct.
So yeah.
So sorry, I got excited because I love decorating cups. So I'm going to show you a couple ideas for dressing up your cup. Whether you're using one of these little types of glasses, or you're using a martini glass or a highball glass, you can decorate the entire rim or just a quarter of it. So some of you might have seen or that you can buy rimmers. Like this is from Stirrings, and this is already done. You can just wet your glass. You can use, I actually just used the lemon that I turned inside out to juice the lemon, but you can also use a slice of lemon, and then you can use this to also decorate your glass or incorporate into your glass if you want. But you use that to wet the glass, and then your rimmer's going to stick to it. Now, on my mat here that you can't quite see, I have this Stirrings Lemon Drop rimmer on it. And then I had some red sprinkles from Christmas that I added to it.
Maybe they can see
So
it.
yeah,
There
you
we
might
go.
be able to see on my little bar mat here.
Kind of looks like a stovetop.
And so just wet the glass, and then now you have some pretty, I don't know how well you can really see that, but just some, since this is strawberry and lemon, you have some red and yellow for your strawberry and lemon. And then something else fun that we tried earlier, wasn't quite as exciting as I was hoping it to be, but maybe just like 3/4 of your glass. If you have any Girl Scouts around, and you might have some of the lemon cookies with all of the fun little sayings on it, I actually chopped up some of the lemon Girl Scout cookies, and then I added some sparkling sugar to it, and then you could just put that on your rim and put your drink in there with that. So that's kind of fun. But you can also, when I'm making just a regular lemon drop, which would be essentially the same recipe that we just used, only minus the egg white and vodka instead of gin. I just use regular granulated sugar. Pour it right out of my sugar container into the little plate, lemon juice on the rim, and dip it in there, and it just adds a little sweetness while you're drinking it. So kind of fun. And you could use any kind of cookie. You could use Oreos if you're making a chocolate martini, whatever you would like.
That's pretty insane, though.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. And, you know, I don't know that it would work on a mason jar, because that's what I usually serve my drinks out of.
Yeah, you can. The funnest rimmer I ever made was for a mango chili margarita.
Oh.
I used lime margarita salt, some sugar, and some cayenne pepper.
Oof.
And so it was colorful, and it just accented the flavors of the drink, and it was great.
Very nice. And it's not very expensive because you're not using very much.
Correct.
Which makes it nice as well.
Yeah.
And I know I was going to ask you something, and I told you I was going to save it for the show, but now I don't remember what the damn question was. I should have just asked you.
It had something to do with the egg whites.
Maybe it was stabilizing. Like, how is it safe to drink with that? Do you think it has to do with the alcohol?
You can, people eat egg whites all the time.
I know. They're just always worried about salmonella, you know.
Ideally, so with the eggs, generally you want to wash them before you use them. Salmonella comes more from the shell than it does from the egg itself.
Fair enough.
So as long as you're not making tons of contact with the shell and your eggs are clean, it should be good.
And I know you don't want to pool your eggs, so never leave your eggs on the counter for too long. Any egg product, you don't want to just leave them, and don't ever save them, you guys. That's a no-go. That's a no-go. That's a bacteria bath waiting to happen.
I don't know if it's helpful, but I've had several of these and I haven't died yet. So.
We also ate raw cookie dough as kids, so just saying. Well, that's all we have. Do you have any more fun tips and tricks?
I don't think so.
Do you always go for the Beefeater? Is there other alternatives for the strawberry that you could use?
So I will tell you, I did try Gordon's brand of strawberry gin, and it was disgusting.
Okay. I know 3 Olives has strawberry vodka. Would that be a good substitute for this?
Maybe. I have not tried it.
Okay.
The strawberry Beefeater gin is what was used in Canada, so that's what we sought after, and that's
Fair
what
enough.
we used. We tried to use a cheaper gin, and it was gross.
And it was horrible.
Yes.
Tasted like strawberry and pine needles.
It was
Was something.
gross. It was gross.
It was something.
It tasted like medicine.
People way overthink eating raw eggs. Yes, I agree, Rhonda. I agree. It was just a question, because I know there's going to be somebody that asks a question like that, or thinks about it. I'm not putting raw eggs in my drink. That's gross.
So far, I've had some people kind of creeped out about the idea when I tell them in advance. I think it's important I tell them in advance, especially, what if they're allergic to eggs? That would be terrible.
That would be terrible.
So, but I have not yet found somebody that didn't like it when they tried it.
Yeah, well, it's delicious. So, if they don't like it, then you need to pour them another one. That's my solution for that problem.
And you got to taste the difference, so
Yeah.
you know.
And it's definitely better with the egg
definitely
whites.
adds an element to the drink, for sure.
I think
And
it
it's
just
fun.
calms it. It is fun. Kind of looks like beer, sort of. Not really. Okay.
Doesn't taste like it at
Definitely
all.
doesn't taste like it at all. All right, y'all. I will see you all on Monday for Monday Morsels. Keep sharing, you guys. I looked at my YouTube videos the other day and was like, holy cow. Y'all are actually watching these. It's insane. It's just insanity to me. I will be uploading this video and this last week's videos tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. We'll see you on Monday for Monday Morsels. Not sure what we're making yet, but it's always a surprise. So cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, all.